Welcome to Bitching and Moaning, the podcast where we talk shit, spill the tea, and say all the things you're definitely thinking about but shouldn't say out loud.
We're your hosts. I'm Stephanie with Patricia, and together we're your weekly dose of sass, laughs, and just the right amount of bad decisions.
From sexy stories to petty rants, nothing's off limits. So grab your wine or your drink of choice, loosen your morals, and let's get into it.
Because if we're not bitching,
we're probably moaning. Welcome to Bitchin and Moanin. We are excited to be here with you and together with my bestie.
You're my bestie.
You're my bestie too. And we have our wines.
Yes.
They're our treats today.
Yes.
Look, I went a little lighter and you went darker today.
Yeah, I went darker, yes. I don't know, it's the opposite. And yours is like orange or peach or whatever. I'm
peachy.
taking,
So you want to start with yours?
Yeah, I have my Indulge Me chocolate.
Ooh.
I'm on this chocolate thing.
We might start with the Moanin.
Yeah, chocolate wine. But I went to a birthday party this past weekend and got ordered chocolate wine, and I'm like, oh, well, now I'm into the chocolate wine. So so it's got 12% sugar, but also 12% alcohol.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's pretty loaded, so it's definitely yummy.
So you're going to be floating by the time you
Yeah,
get on.
I'll be having a great time by the end of our podcast. So, so what do you got?
I have something called Bella Prima Bellinis. I went a little fruity this time. A little peach, grapefruit taste, orangey color.
It's pretty.
It's great aroma, peachy aroma. It smells really good, and it's supposed to be really fruity. Mine is a little less alcohol, only 5.5%. But it comes out of España, so from Spain. So we are.
It looks wonderful, very summery.
Yeah, since we're getting into the summer months, I thought we'd do something fresh and fruity. So
alrighty.
Cheers
to
the chocolate and the peach. Oh God!
Just have to savor the chocolate.
It tastes like a yummy grapefruit drink. Like, it's so good. Like you would, it's so good.
It looks so pretty.
Yeah, I didn't try it. Actually I had bought it for my daughter, and she left some here, so I snatched it. But it is really good. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I have to try some later.
Yes.
Sip out of your glass right now.
Yes, a little sippy.
So,
that's good. So,
yummy.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, gonna do a little bit of bitching about like comedy shows and how raw they can be. I watched like 3 of them. I don't know. It was on like a comedy binge or whatever. And the first one was Kevin Hart's roast.
Yes.
And I have a lot of thoughts on that one. Yeah, I know the purpose of a roast is it's supposed to mean how much you really appreciate that person. But some of the stuff just goes over the top, and I felt like with his that there was a lot of things that crossed the lines that just left a bad taste in my mouth. I know there's a lot of shock value to it.
Yeah,
and I'll mention some of those, but did you get a chance to watch it?
I did, and I think before we talk about the current comedy stuff, I like to go back a little bit because we are vintage. I want to just touch a little bit on the comedy shows from the past so that we set the foundation of what happens now as the times have changed. Because I, as you were talking, I just thought about this. Because we grew up in the era of Richard Pryor,
Eddie Murphy,
the Raw stuff, Dave Chappelle, which he came a little bit later. But like, they were raunchy as raunchy can be. They said so many crazy things.
Yeah.
I honestly remember Richard Pryor talking about like cocaine and all that stuff, and didn't he set himself on fire or something like that doing cocaine?
It was
it was weird stuff. Like, And like, since we were young, I don't even think like we were able to watch that stuff. That
Right.
it kind of came later. And
Yeah,
when
for
we
me,
were-
it was definitely as an adult.
Yeah. One, I think maybe cable, and I don't know if we had cable, and two, that was like rated R stuff, which we really couldn't watch anyways. But even the Eddie Murphy stuff, you know, just the things that they said about drugs and like who else? A lot of the people from Saturday Night Live, like oh my God, now I'm gonna lose my brain. Who's the Chris Farley?
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Farley
He's
used to
crazy.
say. John Belushi.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all those people that did stand up before they were kind of like famous, they were so raunchy, and most of them were men. I mean, they gave women a really, really hard time back then and continue to do that. However, coming, to this time of our lives, I think that there's still some raunchiness.
Yes.
And I honestly think there was a little bit of a time frame there where people were scared to say anything.
Oh, yeah.
Because they thought they were going to be canceled. So you couldn't joke about the N-word, and you couldn't joke about drugs or women or politics because, it was just such a sensitive thing. And now, since the ones we're going to talk about, I think we've come kind of full circle that they're back. The raunchiness is really back. And, I mean, we could say we're bitching about it, but honestly, we're just kind of like, I don't think we're really bitching about it. We're just kind of bitching about certain things that are said in it.
Yeah.
That, it is a little still sensitive.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's cable. Or back in the day, it was like you could pay to go to a concert, so you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Or like Netflix is pretty free with whatever they have, and some like HBO, some of these others are pretty free with whatever they're going to put on there.
Right.
But
so let me go back now that I've brought you to this century. The Kevin Hart roast. So there were two roasts before that. The Justin Bieber, and the Tom Brady
one.
Those two, I was kind of like, wow, this is kind of interesting because I don't think I've ever really seen a roast.
I haven't either.
Those were the first two I saw. And Justin Bieber was, oh, you know what? And I saw the Bruce Willis one. But again, I didn't really understand, like, what's happening?
Right.
Are they supposed to be saying bad stuff? So I didn't really get it. But then once by the time I got to the Tom Brady one, I'm like, oh, I get it now. They're just celebrities and they're saying weird shit and stuff. And so now I'm caught up to like what roasts are. I know, it took me a minute, really.
The Tom Brady one, there were some things, that
was
like
honestly I think the best one.
Yeah.
I thought that was the best roast out of all of them. I think he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think he took it in stride. Yeah. But the Kevin Hart one, in my opinion, one, I think it went too long.
Yeah, it did seem really long.
Yeah. And two, I think they could have gotten better guests on there.
Yeah.
I didn't know some of the people on there.
Right.
And then some of the things they were saying were pretty rough.
Yeah, I think the back row was pretty much like just his friends because I don't recall anybody getting up from the back row. Do you?
But did you notice Tiffany Haddish was in the back?
Yes.
So she's famous. She's on the cover of swimsuit, Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Go Tiffany. Yeah. I'm so excited about her and Alex Earl and somebody else.
I don't know if they do that with all roasts where like it's just the front row that kind of gets roast by the person who's up there doing the roasting because I just saw the people in the back and I thought, well, those have to just be people that are his friends that were sitting there, whatever. But
I think they're all kind of prepared too. I think they're told that, okay, we're coming for you and, you just got to deal with it.
Right.
So.
The couple things, one of them where I thought crossed the line in particular, and it's like, there's just, with race, there should be certain things that are off limits to a certain race. And one of them was I think it was Shane Gillis made a joke about I'm almost hesitant to say the jokes because they sound horrible. They
just say them with your chest out, as
so
my daughter
I'll
would
do
say.
that. So let me
now
find...
keep in mind we are not racist.
No,
and
I am quoting what was said. Okay, so. And it was in the context, the word lynching was used, and this was the joke.
What was the joke? Let's hear it.
And so Shane Gillis was poking fun at Kevin Hart's height, and he cracked. Kevin's so short that they're going to have to lynch him from a bonsai tree.
Oh.
And the word lynch
terrible.
It's like, terrible. Why would... especially a white dude up there saying it. Why would you ever joke about, one, the topic is not funny at all.
Yeah.
But I just thought that one I was like, that was beyond poor taste.
They say that him and then that Tony, there was another
Hedgecliff, I think that was his name.
I didn't know
Hinchcliffe.
I did not know who he was. My son knew who he was, so he was telling me about him because I guess he is stationed here in Austin, and he's like besties with Joe Rogan, and he's controversial too. But they apparently think that they can say and do anything they want, and they get away with it because they're comedians and they won't get canceled out. And then especially on a roast.
Yeah.
So and I don't know. Like again, we're not prude. I thought some of those jokes were funny. I really did. I thought they were funny, and it's bad because I can remember my pastor going, you shouldn't even be laughing at something or like going to see a scary movie if you're a Christian because you're contributing to that kind of lifestyle, whatever. It's a freaking movie. Give me a break. And if you're laughing, I'm sitting there with my kid, and we both thought some of it was funny, and some of it was like, ooh. And we both, like, at the same time, we both kind of went like, ooh. So at least I know that I raised my child, who is a grown-ass adult now. He knows what's right and wrong. And when you're watching something and it's just like, it's meant to be shock value. It's meant to, like, remember Howard Stern?
Oh,
shock
Howard Stern.
Value.
He was a
that
shock jock.
Yes.
That's what they called him.
That's how he started this whole thing,
Yeah.
So as long as I think you know your foundation, I thought some of it was funny. Some of it, what do you want to talk? So let me talk about Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
That bothered you.
Yeah, Tom Brady. The most memorable person on his roast was Nikki Glaser. Let's put it out there. We all know that her career has skyrocketed since. She was pretty funny. She's pretty good, and she's hosted the Globes and some the awards show, and she has her stand-up stuff. But she was on the roast of Tom Brady, and she was the best one on there. She was so witty, and everybody's like, who is this girl?
Yeah, where'd she come from?
So she's awesome. I thought she was awesome beforehand. And now she has her own special, which we're going to talk about. But for the Kevin Hart, they had Chelsea Handler, which I love her too. Yeah. I think she is bold. She has established herself in the comic world. She had her own show, and that it was Late Night with Chelsea or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And she dated 50 Cent, right? And so she's come into her own, but she was there. Whew. That is the one that was like, that was the one that hit me kind of the hardest because they kept on calling her a whore, over and over and over, and it's like, ha ha ha, she's laughing. Yeah. She knew she's like, I saw an interview afterwards and they're like, well, she's like, I knew they were going to come for me, and what else can they say about me? Because I'm at their level, I'm a comic and I've done well for myself. So they kept on calling her a whore, and they kept on calling her or saying how much she loved abortions and how she had, how many abortions she had or something like that. And over and over and over. And I was like, geez, okay. Like, even if it's in your script or whatever, and 5 people in front of you have already called her a whore, do you think it's necessary to call her a whore again?
Well, it kind of loses the impact if it's trying to
Yeah.
be funny. Okay, haha, whatever they're trying to be funny about. But the more it gets picked at, the worse it's like, okay, this is a little over the top with all of it. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember that. And I did read that, and I don't know if she was playing it off, but she did say something. She says, I'm a confident woman. And she goes, I like to fuck people, so I don't care, you know? So maybe she's that hard on the exterior that she really doesn't care.
She doesn't. And
But
I mean, people,
still,
you know, you got feelings and you're
Yeah.
human. But I think after like the 5th or 6th one, she's kind of like, can you
Okay.
come up with anything else?
And I
know?
did read that too, that she was like, it was expected from them because
Yeah.
that's all they had.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
jokes weren't original, they weren't funny because that's just who they are.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so.
But she had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, she had some
towards-
good comebacks.
She had some
so,
good comebacks to the other people, and
Yeah.
that one guy that's what I don't remember his name. The guy from Austin.
Oh, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah. So apparently he's gay, and he's a major MAGA,
Mm-hmm.
and so and he's buddies with Trump or whatever. So they were just piling on him,
Yeah.
and saying all sorts of kind of stuff. And so she had some good comebacks for him because he was calling
Yeah.
her names too.
Well, and I think one of them was along the lines, and if people haven't watched it, I don't like to give away jokes, but it was along like, well, Chelsea, one of her comebacks was like, who's had more black guys than me, Tony Hinchcliffe,
Yeah.
kind of thing like that. So she
Yeah.
was dishing it back to a
She
lot of the
was.
people, and she was later on in the set, so I think
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was like kind of worked up to kind of
Yeah.
get back at them. So
Yeah, I think they were saying a lot of racial things.
oh, God. A lot,
A lot. And then, of course, Kevin Hart is so short, so of course
Yeah.
those were all in there too.
And some of those are pretty funny, and I feel like he takes it in stride, with that, because he
Yeah.
is a short man.
yeah, he is a short man. So the lady that was sitting next to Chelsea Handler, do you remember her name? She was a black lady.
I can't remember her name.
Oh, nobody said anything against her.
Yes.
I think maybe because she's like an award-winning actress
yeah.
and stuff. God, I wish I could remember her name now. I should have done my research on it. But she was in that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio that just won all these awards. Anyways,
yeah.
okay. Anyways, but then the other thing was Tiana Taylor. If you guys know who she is, beautiful. I love her. She's a singer,
Yeah.
but she's also an actress, and she was also in that same movie. She's been in a lot of movies lately, and she's gorgeous. And they brought her out,
Yeah,
and she bombed. She bombed
Yeah.
really bad. Like
it wasn't.
it wasn't
good.
that great. And then, of course, when she left, they were all pouncing on her that she
Yeah.
was so bad. And I mean, I think just women comedic people or comics are just get the brunt of shit,
Yeah.
And I was reading about like why it's so hard for women comics to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And what I read was that when they try to go to bars or comedy places to try to get time on for their sets,
Mm-hmm.
the owners of the places, normally men, make them have sex with them to give them time.
Oh my God.
Or sexual favors
Wow.
or things like that. It's like a barter thing. You want a set? What are you going to do
It's
for
so
me?
sad because you heard about that like in the 50s and the 60s
No,
about
it's
what
still
was
happening.
it, the couch stuff, whatever they called it, but it was
Couch
like
casting.
yeah, couch casting where that was just a time. That's what
Yep.
I guess you do what you got to do if you want to be in there, which doesn't
Yeah.
make it right. But I guess I thought we had moved beyond that
Nope.
at some level, and so that's extremely sad.
There are more women comedians coming out now, which is great, but it still happens. I
Wow.
read that it still happens, and but women are trying to fight that now. Like they're really coming up with really good material and stuff. So they're getting to the point where people want to see women comedians. So
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
it'll help. With that situation.
Yeah, there's another one that, to me, that Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe were.
I don't like that Shane Gillis
I didn't
guy.
like
I don't know. He's annoying.
either one. Yeah, I didn't like either one of them, but Tony had made a joke about George Floyd, and maybe you remember this.
Yeah.
I'm going to quote the joke. It's not funny to me at all, but it says, I can't remember what he said before that, but it was like, right now, George Floyd is looking at us all and laughing so hard that he can't breathe. And I thought, why would you say that? And then his family, I read today, his family has come out against that. A lot of people they're getting a lot, those two in particular are getting a lot of flack by what they said because it crossed the line. It wasn't funny and things like that you just don't joke about.
And again, you can say, oh, it's a woke life or liberals no, it's not any of that. It's just the whole moral compass.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We teeter-totter on our moral compass. Don't even come before us and don't fucking judge us because we know what we've done in our lifetimes and we're no saints. But that's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah.
People got away from saying stuff like that because they didn't want to be canceled. But then certain people can say whatever they want and they don't get canceled.
Right.
It's just like, don't be so sensitive. Don't be so sensitive. Everybody's sensitive, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm gonna jump a little bit on something. I had a conversation with somebody. I was talking to, I don't know, I was at a party or something, and we were talking about like the housewives and stuff. And I think we were talking about the Beverly Hills housewives and who's going to be coming back and who's not going to be coming back and whatever. And we were talking because think about it. These housewives have been on there for 15 years,
right,
10, 15 years, you know. So they're not 20 years old anymore.
Right, yeah.
But they're starting to integrate younger generation, the millennials or some even the Gen Zs, you know, with these Gen Xs or even older, you know, but mostly Gen Xs, right? So they can't understand each other. They don't understand each other at all because you got these older women, you know, fighting dirty and thick skin and handling everything. But then you got these millennials are like, you're making me very upset because you are talking too loud. You know, like and they're like yelling at each other. And she's like, I'm feeling attacked. You know, and it's like, she's just talking to you. So they're trying to understand how to deal with this younger generation that's very sensitive.
What do they say? Snowflakes? Is that what they use the term snowflake for?
And again, remember, we're raising those. Yeah. And they're not like that. Don't get me wrong. They're not sensitive. I mean, but you know, I do hear some stuff from our kids of, you know, maybe we shouldn't do that, or I didn't like the way this was handled, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I had somebody tell me to fuck off, you know, and you know, it's just different. You try to help them understand that you need to have thick skin and you need to stand your ground. Right. But that doesn't mean you don't need to be human either. Right. And so again, coming back to the roasts and stuff like that, again, there are some people that, I mean, I would imagine the family of George Floyd was a little sensitive about them saying something like that.
Well, and that was such a big nationwide movement. Yeah. And I think that's why, you know, it felt in such poor taste to me. But there was a lot of stuff that I did laugh at. Yeah. I'll talk about one more that disturbed me, and then, you know, and then we can move on or talk about something else. But Cheryl Underwood, if you don't know her, she's a big comedian. She was on The View, I believe, was on The View. She is really, really funny. But her husband had committed suicide, and he jumped out of a building. Yeah. And
I did not know that until I heard the jokes. And I was like,
so I know. So I was like, so I went back and read it. And I think I even heard them say, you know, we wanted to make sure it was okay. And she said she knew they were going to come for her, but she didn't know they were going to come for her in that way. So, of course, you're on a stage. You got to pretend to laugh or whatever. But that was another one that was like, I don't know. Yeah. Suicide. I don't know. So that one was hard for me. So those are my top three.
There was one joke they were saying that because of the way she looked, no wonder he jumped out.
Out
the building or something like that. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And, you know, losing a loved one, a spouse is never. It never ends in your mind, and especially something that
was so
traumatic. But wow, she took it in stride.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think that if you are going onto these things, you have to be prepared that you are going to be roasted.
Yeah.
You are going to be annihilated with some of this stuff. And if you're going to watch it, be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
The best part for me was when The Rock came out. And the banter, but that's two people where you, and I know other people see, where you look at a couple or you look at friends and you're like, how are they friends or how are they together? And I'm like, they just seem like an odd combination to be friends, but they really care about each other. But they were going back and forth, and I laughed so hard because The Rock was kind of, you know, to Kevin's wife going, "You're really happy with him?" and was like flexing his pecs and, oh my God, The Rock. Who doesn't moan over The Rock, right? So that was my favorite part because it was funny. I laughed so hard just with them going back and forth at each other.
Yeah, I thought he was all right. I thought he was way drunk. Let me say
he
that.
Probably was.
And then two, towards like the end of his set, he started getting like a little weird, like sitting on his lap and so, or like he's like, sit on my lap. I'm like, okay, this is like too weird. I think it was the alcohol and I thought it was funny that, you know, he was trying to come on to his wife and stuff. But you know, Kevin Hart has cheated umpteen times and has been busted and then gone back to his wife. So. You know, everybody had to say something nice about, like, oh, you're a family man. I'm like, I don't know about that, buddy. You ain't no family man. Well, you could be. Maybe he's changed.
Maybe now.
I don't know.
Maybe. But that was actually my favorite part was that because of, you know, they seem to be such good friends, so the banter back and forth is what I thought was funny.
Yeah, so roasts we like, but some of the stuff we don't like.
At least we know we have a conscience if we're going, you know, kind of thing. That kind of crossed the line. And then some of them I'm like, why did I laugh at that? I probably should have went, ew.
I know.
But, I mean, you kind of know what you're going in to get it, but there's still the shock values. You really don't know what's going to come out of their mouth, but yeah.
So speaking of shock values, let's turn our attention to Miss Nikki Glacier.
Yes.
Because, again... I love her. She has a comedy show, or she has a comedy set right now called Nice Girl?
Good Girl.
Good Girl.
Yeah.
Good Girl.
Good Girl.
Oh, she's a good girl. And I loved every freaking minute of that. Every minute. I mean, her jokes were so raunchy and funny and tacky on top of it. And I did go, ooh, to some of them, too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't matter if it's a male or female. I'm going to go, ooh, that's kind of crazy. But towards the end of her set, which you should all go watch it. It's on Netflix.
On Hulu.
I always say Netflix.
Yeah, I was looking for it on Netflix. I'm like, I can't find it. It's on Hulu. Yeah.
Go watch it. But the end of her set, which we should even talk about, but we're going to because we're going to talk about our lady parts.
Yeah.
So she talks about her vajayjay and like,
hopefully you know what a vajayjay is.
In depth. So here's where it gets good. Kids, close your ears. But yeah, she was talking about her vajayjay and how she thought she had like the ugliest vajayjay ever. Yeah. And then she was saying how she saw her friends' vajayjays.
They all compared each other.
They all started comparing. And so I'm like, Stephanie, I think we should talk about and compare our vajayjays together. Now, don't get excited because we're not spreading ego here.
It's not anything
Here's where
like
we
that.
Loosen the morals.
Yeah.
Okay? So those judgmental people, friggin' stop listening.
Well, some people have been hoping we'd finally get to this point, you know, where we talk about, you know, crazy things amongst ourselves.
So there's different kinds of vajayjays, right? You have ones that are with the... You know, you got lips that are kind of open, and then there's a little strip, and then you got some that you don't see the little strip, and they're closed up, and then some you got puffy ones, because that's where your camel toe comes in, right? And then you got some that are just kind of flat that you don't know you don't know if there's anything down there.
If you've never watched porn, you could make it kind of educational. So if you want to learn about different vajayjays, watch some porn, because there are plenty of things to see in porn.
We may even put some up here. Who knows? But do you want to talk about yours? Or do you want me to talk about mine first?
Oh man,
you go ahead, because
So the funny part she was talking about, and she ties into things with aging, about with women and they age and things change, and
she was saying it was like it was hanging down.
Yeah, some analogies where it's like, I'll just use the one of like, okay, people they repave the roads, right?
Okay.
And they're all nice, but the more you use the road, the more it gets the potholes, and the shoulder looks great, but the middle part looks like, it's been torn up and gone through a grater, right? So it's like, things like that happen when you age. It's like it does not look very good at all. So, it's one of those where I'm not going to go, hey, let me compare whatever. But I don't feel like mine is deformed in any sense of the word. But it's just, but then again, other than porn, I haven't really compared. But.
Okay, so she had different ones. She had ones that were semi-closed with the little strip hanging out, or the strip really hanging out. There was some that were completely closed, some that were like fluffy, right, or puffy, right?
Yeah.
And some were flat. What else was she saying?
There were so many of them. She had a bunch of analogies about it, and it's like it's hard.
Okay, so where does your category fall into?
Wow. The old category.
Wait, you were prepared for this. You knew we were going to talk about this.
It's like, there's a strip in the middle. It's puffy. I'll say that's as far as I'll go with that.
It's puffy.
My family is watching this. Oh my God! So it's out there.
So are other, hopefully millions and millions of other ones.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because let me tell you, I dated somebody, and this person, and this was not long ago. Well, actually, two things have been told to me about my vajayjay that I'll always think about in my head. And one was my gynecologist. I had a partial hysterectomy. I don't care. I'll say it. Back in my 40s, and I'm so vain. I'm so vain that when she was going to go in to do it, my gynecologist, I said, hey, could you look at my tan lines and go below my tan lines so I don't have scars? That's how vain I am, right? And she's like, oh, Patricia, she's like, I don't worry about it. So whatever, she took care of me because it was below my bikini line, right? But then she said something weird, like when she was doing my exam one day, and it was after I had my kids. She's like, I know this is weird for me coming from a doctor, and she wasn't like, I don't know. Trust me, she wasn't doing anything like that. I'm going to report her. It was just a strange comment, but. When you go into the gynecologist and you get that little tool that has to stick inside you to get your pap smear done. If men don't understand, it's this metal tool. It's like it goes
like
in
like
a thong thing, like thongs.
Yeah, tongs.
Yeah. And they stick it in there and they open you up and then they scrape shit out to get your pap smear done. Yeah. And it sucks and it hurts and it's terrible. It's horrible.
It's a necessary evil.
But you got to do it because we got to do it, right? So I hate it.
I don't like it either.
I think every woman does. But the minute that thing touches me, I'm like,
yeah.
So she's doing it. She's like, I just can't believe how tight you are after having all these kids. And I was like, what? It's like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Yeah. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. Hurry up.
I don't want to look at you. I can't look at you that way. Oh my God, that's so random.
I came home and I was like, to my husband at the time, I was like, this is so weird that she said this to me, but okay. I guess it could be worse, right? So that's one thing. And then I was dating this guy, and he was always very observant of my body, like every inch of my body. And I was like, sometimes it made me nervous because you can, women get self-conscious about stuff, but normally I'm not. And when it comes to the bedroom, I'm not. I'm just like, let's do it. We can have all the lights on if you want. I don't give a shit, But he said to me, he's like, you have the perfect little thing here, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is, what's perfect? Because I don't know, like, I don't go around checking out chicks with JJs, But he's like, no, it's like, it's all closed up and you don't see anything. It's just like, you have to go, it's like hidden, like a hidden garden in there. And I was like, what the fuck?
Garden? Oh my God.
And I was like, is that good? He's like, hell yeah, that's good. I'm like, okay. So those are the 2 times that somebody has like said weird shit to me about that. Yeah. And that has stuck in my head. So I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Well, this is weird. So, how do you not be graphic, try to be graphic at the same time?
I just told you about my gynecologist.
Okay, so, since we're putting it out there.
Say weird shit out.
Yeah, okay, let me get my boobs out. So it's, here, we'll do this. So it's like this. So this is the lips on the side, and I have it in the middle. However, the story about having children, so when I went through childbirth with my second one, I guess when they were, what is it, the episiotomy or whatever, where they have to cut you?
Yeah.
They actually cut on part of me, so it's like separated on one side. It's really...
Did you back up?
Yeah, but it's like on the inside. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's... Anyway, but it's like, I was checking myself out one time and I was looking and I'm like, what is that? And it looked like scissors cut it.
Oh, wow.
So everything, it's all healed up. It's just, and I'm like, that is so weird to me. And I'm like, how would that just wouldn't have like, split on its own? It looks like it got cut and it's so
And they
weird.
didn't sew it up?
Not that part. Wow. So it was like she missed the whole spot or something.
That's interesting because I was really scared about that too because I had that done too because, my kids weren't like large or anything like that. But remember, my gynecologist, so I heard.
Yeah.
But, so I got cut too. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, life's never going to be the same. But that quote from my gynecologist was after I had my kids. So I was like, I think I did all right. But my girls, first my one daughter, she doesn't want to have kids because she doesn't want anything happening to her body. Because, your body really does completely change.
Yeah, we talked about it one time and she said she's nervous about all of that. Yeah. Just the changes that come with that. I think everybody is.
Yeah, most women are. And then the other one does want to have kids, but she wants to wait. But they're all like, I don't want to shit myself, and I don't want to be cut, and I don't want this and that.
You don't even know, honestly.
You're just like, get this human out of me, or these humans out of me. And then all the other shit comes later. Not like, I didn't shit. Some people shit, but I didn't.
I don't think I did, or I had an epidural, so I don't know what was happening down there. I could have been all over the place. And
well, it's funny because...
And one was a C-section, so that I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. My oldest was.
I don't know if this was a big thing when you were having kids, but we videotaped ours. I have no idea where that videotape is.
Not of that. Well, no, not of the birth.
Oh yeah, you freaking videotaped all that shit, and I was like, I wish I could find those tapes. Kids, if I die and you find that tape, I'm sorry. It's somewhere in the boxes and storage.
Yeah, with a cesarean, it wouldn't be in an operating room for one, right? But the other one,
was he in the operating room with you?
Yeah, he was. Oh, okay. But he was up by my face. He wasn't down there, because that's a whole nother story, but it wasn't a planned one.
Oh, okay.
So, I was falling apart thinking my kid's not going to make it kind of thing. So, so there was no video recording then, but there was video recording when she's in the room and all of that. And so, I have some funny stories about the whole video recording. But anyway... But so
I think the moral of this is love Nikki Glaser, love that she's so honest, go watch her show, but also check yourself out and see what kind you have. Maybe you might be interested. Or maybe have your significant other, if you have one, check it out. Say, hey, what do you think of that down there? What does it look like?
Yeah.
Is it paved nicely?
Yeah. Or does it look like it's gone through a great cheese grater, you know? But, you know, hey, there's nothing wrong with you checking out yourself, right? You should know your body.
You need to.
So,
you
know.
need to.
So, yeah.
You need to do your womanly checkups because it's very, very important. The sooner you catch something, the better it is. You know, dealing with people in our lives that have had cancer or certain situations, you know, we should always be checking on that stuff. We're joking about it, and it is funny, but always make sure you're checking.
Yeah.
So
and then the last one I watched was Wanda Sykes. Have you seen that one?
I did not see that one. Tell me about that one.
So I love her. Some people don't like her. She's not their cup of tea. But what I like about her is she's very real. She's just funny. She talked about her kids that are now teenagers. So she had about that. She talked about her French wife, and she had an episode about, you know, she always uses a washcloth when she bathes, you know, and so her French wife, you know, when the first time, I guess, Wanda had got over, she's like, the French lady, and I'm not even going to try to speak French, but was like, we don't use those here. She's like, what do you mean you don't use a washcloth? And she goes, yeah, we just go do whatever.
Sometimes they stink.
Yeah.
Sometimes don't hate me for that, but sometimes French people do stinky dinky.
So she does this whole thing about, you know, she tries to get the mother-in-law, and she's like, no, we don't have those there, or however you say it in French, whatever. And so she's like, okay, fine. And she's like, and then she went, oh. She goes, let me try and wash that again. And then she's like, and then she's like, oh, you know, she's doing this whole thing. So it was funny. And then, but you know, it wasn't all about that, but she is so real. She talked about politics, and it's like, you know, is this the worst? Am I stuck in an escape room or something? So she had some really funny jokes just about all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't, to me, like nasty raw like some of the other ones we were talking about. She's just funny. Yeah. And so it's not real long.
Okay. Wanted to say check that one out too.
Yeah, she went back and did this show at her college. So she talks about her college and how things have changed with that. And so, yeah, it was just really good. So I enjoyed that one a lot. That one made me laugh pretty hard.
I have seen bits and pieces of different ones of these, but Ali Wong, she's also a very good comedian. And Amy Schumer, she's hilarious. She, you know, she's been kind of quiet lately, but she is so funny. And then of course she's got a lot of movies, Trainwreck, and some other movies. Sarah Silverman, I think she's pretty funny, and she actually went to like a White House dinner, I think, once. Wow. I can't remember if it was Bush or Obama. One, I don't know, but she was saying some raunchy things at the White House correspondent dinners or whatever, and she's pretty funny too. She's a little bit older, but she's pretty funny. I don't want to say older. She's not. But yeah, I think she's really funny, and so yeah, there's a lot of great female comedians out there. So, you know, if we live in a world right now where there's so much tragedy and so much hatred and just bad news every time you look at social media or the news. So, you know what? If you want to escape, watch a comedy show. You know, the oldies but goodies are touring too, like Seinfeld. He's touring. Yeah. You know, some of those people. And Eddie Murphy, he actually had a documentary and about his life. John Candy, there's a documentary about his life. Both of those, they're good. Chevy Chase was another one. I think Chevy Chase is funny, but he was kind of a prick.
Yeah, I've heard that about him, and he's kind of a dick to work with. He's very, very hard to work with, especially like in the early days when he did like Caddyshack. Yeah. Him and Bill Murray didn't get along, so there's like a whole thing behind that, and they're both hilarious comedians. But I don't know if they had,
it's interesting to go behind the scenes of how these comics come to how they are, and the majority of it is that they're all insecure of some sort, and comedy is how they release that insecurity. You know, I watched a movie from Pete Davidson. I think it's called like Staten Island or something like that, and it's somewhat about his life, you know. And he was on the roast, and his dad was a firefighter and died in 9/11.
Yeah, really sad.
Don't think they did not say shit to him about that too, which was rough.
Yeah, that one was hard. And
he took it, you know. But some, you know, again, everybody gave it to each other. But like I said, like there's sometimes I love like those crime shows, the murder shows. Who Murdered 48 Hours?
Yeah.
The latest one was The Crash.
We could talk about that another one. That was,
But I'm so involved with all this because I just love these murder shows, whatever. And I'm watching them late at night, which is stupid because then I'm, you know, having nightmares. So what I try to do with my husband is like, hey, let's put on a comedy.
Yeah.
Let's put on a stand-up thing and let's just kind of laugh before we go to bed. That way I can kind of forget about all that craziness. So just a suggestion in this crazy world that we have right now.
Yeah.
So do you have any moaning?
I do.
Let's hear it.
Well, and kind of to stay on the same topic of comedians and stuff, last Thursday was the last show of Stephen Colbert.
Oh, okay.
He's been canceled, and which I think is a shitty thing to do. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
And I don't think it had anything to do about money. So my moan is I am so sad it's gone because I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he pokes fun at the president, and I know the president doesn't like it, but I have never known any late night comedian that hasn't poked fun at every president
or politician.
Yeah, and it's like that should be expected. To me, they're not
money.
like a roast.
It's money. There's whole thing in the background of the networks and it's
right.
The whole
so
thing
I know the network was bought out by somebody, so I think that has to do. You know, they're trying to change and
they're trying to censor us.
Yeah,
people.
I feel like it's attacking free speech a little bit, but he's not going anywhere. He'll be on Netflix or YouTube or whatever. So just because his show got canceled doesn't mean he's going to go away. But I was so sad because I always loved his monologue. He always made me laugh at some level, whether it was talking about something here or something overseas or whatever. It was always funny to me. So my moan is I'm very sad Stephen Colbert is gone.
Oh.
But, you know,
I've seen him a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm a Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Sometimes Jimmy Kimmel. I was more that. I also like the guy who did...
James Corden?
Yes.
Yeah, James Corden was hilarious.
Thought he was funny as ever. If he ever like did a comedy thing, I think I might want to go see him.
He was funny.
Yeah, I just thought that everybody liked him and whatever. There's some people who didn't, but I liked him. But Colbert I didn't watch that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a lot of censoring these days, and it kind of sucks. So, who knows? Is somebody else taking his place? Or
they're putting a comedy show in the slot.
Oh, okay.
Byron Williams is the comedian. It came on right after Stephen Colbert, but they're moving that into that time slot.
Yeah.
And I won't watch it. It's a good and bad thing. I'm sad that he's gone, but it's a good thing because I end up staying up till 11:30 every night, and then I wake up late for work. So that would be the only reason I'm glad that he's not on the air. Is I can actually go to bed. There's nothing to keep me up watching TV. But yeah, so that's my moan along the same kind of topic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got a moan. You see this person everywhere, and let me tell you. I'm not gonna promote this, but I'm kind of T-Mobile. My God, the T-Mobile commercials are actually pretty good, and they have every star that you can think of on these T-Mobile commercials. But the other day, I saw Kevin Bacon on the T-Mobile commercial. There's like a new high-speed internet or something like that. But I love Kevin Bacon. I loved him from the moment he came on the scene with Footloose back in the day. And he has been in so many movies and so many shows. And I love his wife, Kira Sedgwick. Yes. She's amazing.
They're so cute together.
They are. They are on social media and they sing together and they play together, which I just love. But, he's on this T-Mobile commercial and he's in a suit. And, he looks so good. He looks so good. And I was like, oh, Kevin. And he just, I don't know. It's just like, and it keeps coming on again. And I'm like, all right. You know, 'cause, they have Zoe Zeldano, I think is her name. She's on one of the T-Mobile commercials. And they have so many people now on it. But when I saw him, I was like, God, in his suit, oof.
Yeah.
So if you catch that, that's my moan for this week.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon. Go watch any Kevin Bacon show though. God dang.
Man, he's
yummy as hell.
He's like wine. He gets better with age.
Even with the little gray.
I know.
And then he always just loves on his wife.
Yeah.
And I love when they like dance together and stuff. And I think their daughter was in the first Smile movie. Remember that movie Smile?
Yes, that's a creepy movie.
Yeah, their daughter was the main character in there. Yeah. But to see the little family dynamic is so cute, and him singing with his animals and stuff on social media. I love him.
So before we go, when we were at when we were at the Cubs Ranger game, we had a bet.
Oh God.
We had a bet on whichever team lost the game, that the person who was a fan of that team would have to tell a juicy, spicy secret. So I don't know if you want to like leave that as a teaser and we talk about that next time, or
see. I can dig up some kind of secret.
Oh, and so just have to say the Rangers won 6-0, so the Cubbies lost. So that's why Patricia has to tell a juicy little secret.
You have to tell a juicy little secret. Let's see. Oh, I have so many. It's funny because I went to visit some friends in Chicago this past weekend, and we were playing Uno, and whoever lost had to say something that nobody knows about.
Yep.
And so we were telling each other juicy secrets.
So you just did that, so that you should be able to pull it out pretty quick.
I know, but let's see.
I can't tell if you're still thinking or if you're nervous to say the one you want to say.
I do want to say one, but then I think that'll kind of cause a lot of problems. So let me think. You keep talking about something.
So I have another moan. My other moan while you're thinking is Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah,
and it's the Notebook version with a combination of the Matrix, which is weird because and he was my boyfriend. I love my husband very much, but I had a really great dream with Keanu Reeves, and he was my boyfriend, and he just thought I just hung the moon, kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, I like him. He's yummy. Speed. Oh gosh, I love him in Speed. He's just a good actor and just is yummy to look at. Yeah.
And he's aging well too.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my backup moan. So.
Okay. This may not surprise anybody, but when I was with my husband Rob, who passed away, we loved sex. We loved sex. Anywhere, anytime, any place, 3, 4, 5 times a day, anywhere. We loved sex. And we would utilize any place to have sex. And so they might not ever let me back into this restaurant
after they hear
this. But there was a restaurant. You might even. I'm gonna let you see if you can guess.
Okay.
It's a chain, and we went to this restaurant in Dallas. And on like Friday nights, they would give out like free salsa lessons. And it was a Mexican restaurant.
Is it Christina's?
Nope.
Oh wait.
And we went into the bathroom
I think I know what place you're talking about. Christina's came to mind, but it's not Christina's.
No, we went to the bathroom and we had sex in the bathroom and we got caught. We got caught in the bathroom and they're like, you need to leave. This is not that kind of place. And we're like, oh shit. Thank God we were done with our food, you know. But we're like, pay the tab. And yeah, no, it was
there's one, I think, in Colleyville. I think it's the same. Yeah, I just can't remember the name of it. Maybe we should leave it nameless for now.
I'm going to leave it nameless for now.
Yeah.
They have incredible margaritas. They do have a chain.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in Fort Worth in 7th Street.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in South
Colley-
Lake.
in
In
Colleyville.
There's one in Dallas.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And
If you could guess it, we might send you a T-shirt. A
Yeah.
Bitchin Moanin T-shirt.
yes, if you put it in the comments and you guess what it is, we will send you a Bitchin Moanin t-shirt. So, but yes, that's a deep dark secret. Nobody knows that but the two of us. So
Now the whole world.
now the whole world knows.
It's not a secret anymore.
And it's kind of funny too because my friends that I met up with this past weekend, they're flight attendants for American Airlines, and we were talking about, we went on a boat ride, and we did it on the boat too, and we joined the Mile High Club many times, and they're like, "What? How did you do that? How did you not get caught?" And I'm like, oh, very easy. This is my trick. Listen up, everybody, if you want to join the Mile High Club. Yes, we are loosening our morals today. If you want to join the Mile High Club, this is how you do it. Because I even asked my friends, would you, like, you know, get these people in trouble if you found two people in the bathroom? They're like, no, I wouldn't say anything. I would just be like, just let them go.
Slightly closed.
But yeah, but some people would be like, you can get in trouble from the
there's
FAA,
a lot of
right?
Karens, for sure.
Oh, sure. And so what would happen is I would get up and I would go to the bathroom, and then a couple minutes later, he'd come. I tell him which one I'm going to. He'd come to the bathroom and then knock a little bit, and then he'd come in, and then we'd have sex in the bathroom, and then we'd wait, and then I would come out first, and then he would stay, and then he would come out. And they're like, well, what if you would have gotten caught? And I said, well, my excuse would be like, I'm pregnant and I'm feeling nauseous and sick, and my husband has to help me with my pregnancy.
That's
so,
good.
you know, what are they going to say? No,
Yeah.
no, you can't.
I just found out I'm pregnant. That's why I'm not
I'm
showing.
sick. Yeah.
I'm in my first trimester.
So in case you want to join the Mile High Club,
I think at this
I'm
point,
not bailing you out of jail though. So
but that would have to be for more like age appropriate, because I don't think anybody would look at me and go, yeah, you just got knocked up. I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Or you can always just say, I'm sick, I've been throwing up, you know, some kind of sickness. And, and they'll be like, oh my God, can I get you water? You know, they're not going to dispute that you're sick throwing up, right?
Yeah.
So
That's a good tip.
Oh yeah. And even in bathrooms. Even in bathrooms. He was just helping me always. I thought I was going to faint.
I had too much to drink, you know.
So,
that's funny.
anyways, so that's now you know all my, most of my secrets. No, I have a lot more, but that will be for another time. We'll continue to make bets throughout the summer and see what happens.
What happens. So,
all right, well, I'm empty.
I'm almost done. Mine was all the way up here, so I had quite a bit with my 12% alcohol.
We hope you enjoyed our bitching and moaning.
You got to know us a little bit better.
A little more intimate. Like literally. If you want to know more about us, we'll be happy to tell you. We might even have a boob section, you know. We got lots of stories on our boobs. And they are a really good part of our lives.
Exactly.
But anyways, we hope you enjoyed our little time together, and we will see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.